The reason why you're not rich yet, the reason why wealth isn't flowing to you, and the reason why money doesn't want to commit to you is because you're cheating with scarcity. You know that the relationship you want is with abundance, with feeling like you have enough, and being rich. And you might even be someone who's actually good at attracting money, but you always seem to lose it or spend it too quickly. The reason why money doesn't want to commit to you, stay in your life consistently, and provide you with the abundance and the comfort that it offers is because you're still cheating and even just still flirting with scarcity. Your relationship with money is very much like a relationship with a person, but you do not feel comfortable in that relationship with money because you still have fleeting thoughts about your ex, which is scarcity and not having enough. And even if you keep cheating with scarcity, disrespecting money is such a good guy. He's gonna come back to you regardless. But if you disrespect him enough and you end up going back to scarcity all the time, money's gonna see that you don't want that relationship with it. And it's gonna let you figure things out till you're ready. If you truly want to make a lot of money and manifest abundance into your life on a regular basis, you need to start thinking about money like a personal relationship. And you need to think about scarcity like your toxic ex-boyfriend who tells you lies about yourself that aren't even true, your narcissistic ex-boyfriend who made you feel like you were always at the edge of your seat, trying to keep them happy, trying to people please them, limiting your own self, the dreams and hopes that you had for your own future because you were afraid of offending them, and at the same time hoping for their validation because you've become so accustomed to their company that you actually don't want to let them go because that seems extremely scary. That is exactly the relationship that you probably have with scarcity. And it's such a powerful thing personifying money and scarcity because it makes it more clear what type of dynamic and what type of moves you need to make in order to be able to attract more wealth. A lot of people have really anxious or even avoidant relationships with money, which is why it's a really good idea to think about money as if it's a person who adores you and who really wants to be in a relationship with, but you still have certain things from your past relationship with your narcissistic ex-boyfriend scarcity that you need to figure out and heal because he's been telling you so many lies about who money actually is. Scarcity has made you feel that you constantly need to seek him out because you feel comfortable with the uncomfortability, the anxiety, the unpredictability of being in a relationship with scarcity. Your relationship with money has a lot to do with actual attachment styles, which is why personifying it is really, really good. But at the same time, you cannot heal your relationship with money and start attracting wealth and abundance if you do not heal your attachment style when it comes to actual human relationships in general. Your ability to be able to produce wealth and be able to keep that wealth, which is what people usually struggle with, is completely directly correlated with the relationship you have with people. Are you the type of person that when you get in a relationship, you're afraid that they're gonna leave you? When you get in a relationship with a guy who's actually really, really nice and good for you, you can't believe it. You don't want to attach yourself to him. You don't want to get used to things being good because you've been used to things being bad so long that that's what you expect. So in order not to disappoint yourself, you become super, super avoidant with your new boyfriend who's actually secure, who wants to give you the whole world because you're afraid of becoming too attached. You're afraid that this secure guy is going to turn on you. So in order for you to feel like you have options, you still regularly text your ex. You still regularly try to keep your options open because you can't seem to believe that you can have it all. Because your ex-boyfriend, he creates the chaos in your life that you're used to and that you're addicted to. Because you like things not being completely right because that's what you've been used to. You like going back to toxic guys because you know how it's going to end with them. You know you're going to end up being disappointed. So when you get in a relationship with this new, perfect, secure guy, your body and your mind literally cannot believe that this is possible. And it's going to want to revert back to its old pattern of sabotage. And the way it does this is to be avoidant towards this new secure partner, which leads you back into a spiral of avoiding committing fully mentally, because you don't commit fully and set your boundary and say, okay, this is what I'm doing. Your brain that's addicted to negativity goes back to the toxic ex and sabotages it. So the prophecy that your ex has been telling you and that you've been telling yourself, that no relationships can work out, is gonna come true because you're gonna sabotage it, because you are afraid of stepping out of your comfort zone and committing to security and healing your own attachment style, so you become aware of the fact that there actually are people out there that want the best for you and who are not here to just sabotage you. These are the type of relationships you have with people. There's a good reason why you're not manifesting wealth, attracting money, and creating the rich life that you deserve. Money directly represents the guy who is secure and wants to give you the whole world. Money is never evil, but you know who paints an evil picture of money? Scarcity. Because you've spent so much time around scarcity, you have a completely skewed idea about what it means to be close to money. That's why every time you get close to money, you get money in your life, you sabotage it, and you end up going back to scarcity and not having enough and spending all your money. Money is wondering, why don't you like me? I want to do everything for you. I love you. You're great. You're amazing. But you're so scared. You're so afraid of things turning out the same way that scarcity made you feel, that you end up sabotaging the whole relationship you have with money, going right back to scarcity. It all has to do with your attachment style. You want to sabotage your actual good relationship with money because you're afraid it's going to be taken away from you. So you feel like it's better that you ruin it because you have this superstitious idea that scarcity has given you, that things are not going to work out. Like the toxic ex who says you're never going to find better than me. That is literally what scarcity is telling you every time that you try to commit to money. And of course, scarcity doesn't want you to be with money. It doesn't want you to have a healthy relationship with money because that starves scarcity. That makes scarcity have less power over you. And it wants to be able to control you because scarcity gets an anxious attachment style and it starts chasing you when you start becoming secure. When you're in a relationship with scarcity, you feel like everything is going wrong. Scarcity becomes avoidant. You keep chasing scarcity, but money is just chilling. He wants the best for you. He can't give you the best if you're not ready to put your relationship with scarcity behind you. But then when you get into a relationship with money, everything you talk about is your toxic ex, scarcity, how he did this to you and how he did that to you and how you can't trust. Money wants you to feel good, so it's going to still stay with you, but it's not really going to want to commit to you fully if you're constantly still talking about your ex. One of the best examples of this in actual pop culture that I think is very important to study, if you already know about this, then good, you did your homework, is Carrie's relationship with Big and Aidan in Sex and the City. This is a perfect representation of why you're not attracting the life that you truly want when it comes to money. Carrie Bradshaw is a woman who wants this perfect relationship. She's always dreaming about the perfect man. She loves romance. She wants to be in a good relationship. She represents the person who wants money, who wants wealth. And on Carrie Bradshaw's journey towards finding this romance, she starts dating Big. Big has an avoidant attachment style. He likes when Carrie Bradshaw is chasing him. He likes having her around because he feels more powerful, but he never actually really commits to her. He just kind of plays around with her and usually makes her feel really bad about herself. Carrie Bradshaw here has an anxious attachment style. She's constantly chasing Big, showing up at his apartment, trying to get him to give her validation, trying to get him to commit to her. There's always some issue. And Carrie realizes that it's not going to work and she breaks up with him. She knows this is not the type of life she wants to live. Big represents scarcity. Carrie has now realized she doesn't want any of that. So she sets out to find the perfect man. And she has kind of on and off relationships and little affairs, generally with men that are scarcity. These men make her feel that it is impossible to find the life that she wants. It feels like it's impossible to get romance. Same way that a lot of you guys might feel like it's impossible to find wealth and abundance. And then eventually she starts dating Aidan. And Aidan represents wealth and abundance. Aidan adores Carrie, but he's not interested in being in a relationship with her if she doesn't quit some of her bad habits. And Carrie understands she wants to be in a relationship with Aidan. She wants to quit some of her habits, even though it's hard. But Aidan doesn't see that she's not willing to quit her biggest bad habit, which is her tumultuous relationship with scarcity, aka Carrie Bradshaw's tumultuous relationship with Big. Aidan wants to give her the whole world. He's dedicated to her. He wants to take care of her. He wants her to feel safe and secure. But because Carrie has never felt this before, she thinks that it's fake. She thinks that this type of relationship is fairy tales. It's BS. It doesn't really exist. It makes her extremely uncomfortable. This is what happens when you start getting more money and you can't seem to keep it. You start getting uncomfortable with the amount of money that you have subconsciously. And what do you do when you feel uncomfortable? You try to make this uncomfortable feeling go away. This is what Carrie Bradshaw does when she goes back to Big and starts cheating on Aidan with him. And every time that Carrie Bradshaw sees Aidan after this, she feels terrible. She doesn't feel like she can look him in the eye because she knows she's doing something she shouldn't. Carrie can't even feel happy being around Aidan anymore because she knew she did something bad and it's weighing on her so much. Even then, she still goes back to cheat with Mr. Big because she's addicted to the toxicity. Big is this toxicity. He is the scarcity of her mind. He made her feel that having a terrible relationship that's built on deceit and chasing someone was the type of relationship she was meant to have. Eventually, she tells Aidan about this and they break up. You know what? Aidan comes back into her life. The same way that money keeps showing up into your life, bigger and better. You know what happens? Big wants to sabotage it again. If you actually watch Sex and the City, there's an episode where Carrie and Aidan is in Aidan's cabin. They're enjoying each other's company. Then Big calls because he has some relationship problems with some other girl. And Carrie literally invites him up to her new boyfriend's cabin. Mind you, it's the ex-boyfriend she was cheating with before they got back together again. But you know what? Aidan still shows up for her. And you know what? He even proposes to her. But Carrie is so avoidant. She doesn't want to believe that this is happening. She still has feelings for Big, aka she still has feelings for scarcity. She still has ties to scarcity that she's not ready to give up on. So she doesn't even want to wear the engagement ring. She can't commit to abundance, security, and flow of wealth, aka Aidan. He keeps showing up for her. But eventually he understands that he can't be in her life because she's not willing to truly commit to him. So he can't pour in to her what he wants to pour into her because she's not ready to take the step of being comfortable being in a secure relationship. This is the exact reason why a lot of people have such a big issue when it comes to manifesting and attracting money. The reason that they feel like there's a resistance and whatever it is they're doing, it never comes into their lives. It's because they're still flirting or even cheating with scarcity. And they even make themselves believe that this picture of money as a bad guy is true. They don't want to believe that money wants the best for them. They become avoidant with money. They don't want to have anything to do with it. And here are some of the areas of your life where this avoidant relationship with money might show up in your life. Maybe you're someone who's afraid to look at your bank account. You only want to look at your bank account when you get a bunch of money in, when you get your paycheck. Or maybe you just don't want to check your money because you don't want to get too attached to it. You don't want to feel too happy about having money. Because the thing is, a lot of people that are actually having a really hard time keeping wealth, which is what actually builds wealth, it's not because they don't know how to make money. Making money comes relatively easy to them because they're afraid of keeping it. They're afraid it's going to go away. So they don't want to show up for it every day. They don't want to look it in the eye. They don't want to get too happy about it because if they remain indifferent, then it's not going to hurt that much when they don't have it. And that just makes money feel unappreciated. And then it's not going to want to show up for you as much, or it's going to be really confused because it's doing everything it can to go to you. But the only thing you're doing is you're either ignoring it, not being appreciative of it because you don't want to attach yourself, or even just going out and spending it right away because it feels better when it's out of your way. You don't have to manage it. If you want to build significant wealth, become the most abundant version of yourself, you need to build a secure relationship with money. You essentially need to marry money and be extremely committed. You have to make an arranged marriage between you and money, where there's no going back to scarcity. You can't flirt with scarcity. You can't cheat with scarcity. Obviously, you can still think about what happened between you and scarcity sometime. But if you bring it up with your relationship, your devoted relationship with your husband, money, it's going to create unnecessary strain on the relationship you do have with your husband money. Because why would you want to bring up the past if you know that your future is committed to your husband money? You can absolutely still discuss your emotions towards what you went through with scarcity in a healthy and productive way. Your husband money wants to know that you're dedicated to him. He's going to want to help you out with getting over your traumas from your relationship with scarcity. If he knows that it's going to make you more committed to him, he is going to want to help you heal. He's not going to subscribe to you just talking about your ex scarcity just because you want to talk about him. Think about it like this. Maybe you grew up in a family where the money was supposed to be spent on necessities, and if you spent any money on yourself, you felt guilty. And then when you grow older and you actually start making money, you still struggle with this guilt. But you know that you don't want to have this guilt because it's setting you back from actually being able to attract the life that you truly want. When you do start making more money, if all you're feeling around your money is guilt, the money's not going to feel very good being in your company. And it's going to go find someone who actually does appreciate it. But you didn't know that you shouldn't feel guilty about money. This is something you're willing to work on. When you start working on this, start creating a natural flow within your body. When you start saying to the universe, I am willing to work on my relationship with money. I am willing to become more secure. Will you help me become more secure? Essentially, when you have an arranged marriage to money, maybe in the beginning it's just an arranged engagement, you're going to feel way more compelled to stay on track with your goals because you know your future is dependent on you making an effort and working with yourself. The same way that if you got engaged to someone and you still had some unresolved trauma from your past, they wanted the best for you, you might feel comfortable telling them. Money is going to get really scared of you if the first thing you do when you meet money is that you either try to hide it away, you try to avoid looking at it, and you just think that it's going to resolve itself without you doing anything. When it comes to manifesting money, attention goes where attention flows. So you'll only start manifesting more money when you actually start thinking more about money. And this doesn't mean obsessing over money. This doesn't mean having an anxious attachment towards money, thinking that money is never going to be there and you need to think about what you're going to do if you don't have any money. Think about it like this. Your relationship with money was a person. This person would be a hard-working, blue-collar man who wanted you to live the best life. He wanted to take good care of you. He wanted you to be a stay-at-home wife when it comes to making sure that you're good. This blue-collar man does not want to pour into you. He's going to feel imbalanced if he doesn't come home to a hot meal. You just ignore him when he is at home. And if you don't appreciate the effort he makes in order to make your life better. What you appreciate appreciates. Money wants to do so much for you. It wants to work so hard for you. So you don't have to work hard. You have to be the trophy wife who speaks life and energy into that money, who is assured of that money, who knows that that money is always willing to be there. Sometimes it's just doing an extra shift because that's what's needed in order for you to actually get everything that you want. Because money flows in and out of your life. It needs to go to work to be able to come back to you. But it's not going to want to come back to you if everything you do when you get it is ignore it, spend it right away without saying thank you. Essentially, you need to build a really positive, committed relationship with your money in order for it to flow more naturally towards you. And here are some of the practical manifestation steps you can take towards making wealth a reality for you to build a more secure and healthy relationship with your money. First thing you should do is you should break up with your ex-boyfriend's scarcity. Sit down and write a goodbye letter on a piece of paper. Write this. I see what you have done to me. I see that you have made me believe that I needed to chase you, settle for less, and doubt my worth. I don't need you anymore. I choose security, abundance, and trust. You no longer have control over me. When you've written this letter, then you have to either tear it up or burn it. Make sure you do that safely though. This is a crucial step to you letting go of this scarcity mindset. Next step you're gonna do is accept money's proposal to you. Say yes to secure wealth. Wealth is just waiting for you to say yes and actually commit. And one of the ways that you can tune this into your mind that you're committed to money is to go out and buy yourself an actual ring to represent your commitment to money. This is your commitment to financial security. Every time you look at this ring, you can tell yourself, I am committed to money and money is committed to me. I know that money will stay with me and I allow myself to feel secure with it. Another thing you can do to build a more committed relationship with money to make sure that you feel that it's always there with you is for you to always have a specific amount of money on you that you never spend. This could be having $100 in your wallet that is there for you to just have. This money represents the fact that you can protect your money and you can commit to it. It is safe to be with you and it doesn't have to worry about you just leaving it behind. If you allow it to stay in your wallet, it will stay there. And you will have the security of knowing that you always have this money on you, while at the same time knowing that you don't need to run and spend it because it's happy just being there with you. Another exercise you can do is exposure therapy to your money. Money really wants to love you, but you're emotionally keeping it far away because you're afraid that it's going to leave you. You need to face your money. And the easiest way to do this is for you to be comfortable opening your bank account every single morning and every single night and looking at whatever it is you have in there, even if you're in debt, and choosing to feel neutral about it. This makes you more comfortable with just facing money and being honest with it, knowing what you have and knowing that it's not scary to look at. Tell yourself this: money is safe with me. I do not need to run from it. I face it every day because I want to show up for it and show appreciation. Another thing you can do is to talk to your money in your bank account and tell you, thank you so much for being here for me. Tell it, thank you so much for paying my bills. Thank you so much for buying me groceries. When you reframe all of the things that you just don't want to spend money on onto things that you're thankful for it doing for you, then money is going to really feel appreciated. The same way as if it was your husband. Maybe your husband didn't take you to Disneyland, but he rubbed your feet, he got you some flowers, and he provided food on the table for you. You complaining about all the things that you don't have won't set you up to have more, but you need to appreciate what you do have. And then money is going to be like, you know what? Thank you so much for being thankful for me. And it's going to want to show up for you more because it feels that you're being appreciative, even when it's for paying your water bill. You can also have a happy and healthy conversation with your money. This is where you have to think about it as if it was your committed husband. What would your husband want to hear from you to be even more committed and show up for you even more? Well, if you told him, I appreciate you so much, I want to treat you with respect, and I show how much you do for me, that's going to make him happy. And that's also how money is going to feel. When you have a committed and trusting relationship with your husband, for example, you also know that if he goes out with his boys and has a good night out, he's still going to come home and show up for you. He's going to be committed to you. He's going to come back. That's exactly how you should think about money. I trust that you'll always come back to me. And one of the last steps and exercises you can do to accept more wealth into your life and be committed to wealth is to write your money vows. You have to treat the vows that you make with your money like an actual relationship because it is a lifelong relationship that we all have to have. Write down these phrases. I promise to nurture our relationship with trust and respect. I promise to see you as my partner and not my enemy. I promise to stop running, stop doubting, and stop settling for less than the security that you provide. You always take great care of me, and that means that I will give my attention and my care to you. I know that when we grow together, we grow stronger much quicker. I love you, and I'm grateful for having you in my life. These exercises will literally transform your relationship with money quickly if you actually sit down and do them. You need to be committed to your money so your money can be committed to you. Your money is like a billionaire husband who just wants a loyal wife that he can pamper and spoil. He's not going to pamper and spoil you unless you stay committed. And he still understands that not everything from your past is going to be resolved just like that you might still have thoughts of scarcity, but he knows you're committed enough to not go back and cheat with scarcity, to not go back and flirt with scarcity. He's going to support you in getting rid of those scarcity beliefs. He's literally going to erase scarcity from your mind because you do the work you need to do on building your relationship with money and not your relationship with scarcity. And when you completely commit yourself to money, like you're going to be married for life, money is going to be so overjoyed. It's going to flow so easily to you, but you have to mean it and you have to show up for it. And the same way that committing to a relationship feels daunting for a lot of people, committing to your relationship with money is going to feel daunting, but you need to get over this uncomfortable experience because beyond the uncomfortability lies true comfortability of having all the wealth that you could ever want. But your body and your soul needs to be ready for it. So you need to be the one who says yes. When money proposes to you, you're the one who says yes. You're the one who has to commit. Money has already been committed to you from the beginning. Money adores you. Money loves you. Money wants to do everything for you, and he's going to want to do even more when you truly appreciate him. But you need to be ready for that commitment, that scary commitment, because you might be afraid of being in the relationship with the guy who truly loves you. This is why you need to do this type of attachment and relationship work when it comes to your relationship and your commitment to money. Money will flow to you. Wealth will come to you easily. But you have to stop cheating and stop flirting with scarcity and commit fully to your relationship with money.